This is how we ride. This is how we do.
I mean, this was unbelievable. I was looking forward to Travis Pastrana behind the wheel of a dirt car. Obviously, he's got some rallycross and some world rally experience. This isn't like a NASCAR driver coming in who really doesn't know how to yaw a car out on a cushion and really dig into a corner. This guy has some experience on tossing race cars around, some true finessing ability. Now, just looking at the results last night, you see he finished in the 6th spot, started 12th. I mean, he was out there with Ray Bollinger. I mean, he outdrove some really good competitors on the racetrack. I mean, it was very impressive. Of course, Drake Troutman picked up the win. Anyways, but that just tells you how much talent is in these modifieds. And Travis Pastrana is looking very, very stout. We look over to his Facebook page, and he actually had some GoPro video that was up, made a post. First night of what is going to be a very fun but very challenging 2 weeks of racing. Modifieds are very backwards for me to drive, but a dollar bet is a dollar bet. Hopefully I'll figure this thing out by Saturday. I was thinking of being down there by this weekend, but it doesn't look like that for me. I'm pretty much going to be relegated to being at Volusia Speedway Park, possibly. We will see. Things are in the works, but you could see just a little clip that he put out of making some laps in the modified, and I believe he dodges a wreck right here. Right there, the wreck just goes around. He's able to shut her down and get going. But I'm very interested to see what Travis Pastrana does do. This is a world-class talent that is entering the dirt racing ring. And I am more fearful of, or not even fearful, I'm more looking forward to seeing how he does versus any other Cup driver, Formula One driver coming in here, just because he has that dirt experience. It's something to keep an eye out on, although, unfortunately, until the World of Outlaws start racing this week, we have to watch Flow and Dirt Vision to even watch the modifieds, because the All-Star Circuit of Champions obviously is a Flow series. So they have the broadcasting rights to them, and Dirt Vision has the broadcasting rights to the Dirt Car Nationals. That was kind of the confusion last night. Also, Donnie Schatz leaving in the middle of the race or right before the A-Main. Apparently, there was some kind of training flight that he had to do, and I guess that's a little bit more important than the All-Star A-Main, which, hey, back to the Cup and Busch levels of the sprint car racing industry. Miss a Busch race to go fly or training flights or whatever, that's great and grand. The sprint car portions last night were very interesting. Brad Sweet picking up the win. David Gravel running right there with him. And Logan Schuchart snuck up in there to get a second, and he was very impressive. I mean, and back to the Busch and the Cup situation with the sprint car series. Isn't that evident, guys? I mean, isn't this evident? I mean, there is technically just a Cup level of sprint car racing, and that is the World of Outlaws Sprint Car Series. Brad, this was your finishing order last night. The points as of right now for the Big Gator at the Dirt Car Nationals. Brad Sweet, Logan Schuchart, David Gravel, Spencer Baston, Carson Macedo, all outlaw drivers. Tyler Courtney should be an outlaw driver. Brent Marks can compete with the Outlaws, is kind of a true outlaw driver in his own right. Anthony Macri, we're waiting for him to go off the porch full time, whether that's All-Stars or World of Outlaws. I think he's World of Outlaw already. Same can be said for Justin Peck. And then you have McFadden, Hodenschild, Zierfoss, and you got to get back here to like Kofoid and Brian Brown, and then you still are mixing in Allen and Selzy. Then here you get to your All-Star regulars, Schoenberg, Elias, and Zeb Wise, Scotty, all these guys back here, So there is that Cup level here within your top 10, and even when you get outside the top 10, it's littered full of the outlaw drivers. So I think that the outlaw title this year, in my opinion, is going to be between Sweet and Gravel. Schuchart was kind of going into last year a thought to maybe compete for that title as well, but he had a slump year last year. Will that year improve? We're going to find that out coming up in these coming days. And then, of course, the month and this first opening part of the season. Is Schuchart going to be back to that 2021 level that we thought could really make a run for the title in 2022? I do think Gravel and Sweet have the consistency not only with the driving ability, but the car and the people working on the cars are set for a full season of competition. But It's going to be interesting to actually see what happens with Logan Schaar. Are they going to take that step? Spencer Baston looking very impressive. I thought Macedo was a little off last night. I think Macedo could be a championship contender, especially Phil Dietz is a championship contender. I think Macedo and everything happening there, the whole team, the whole situation is championship ready. But it'll be interesting to see how that goes throughout the rest of the year. Of course, Shots looked like he was fast. We'll have to see some of these other guys that may contend. I think Shots does have a chance to get back in this. So you legitimately have 5 guys going for the Outlaw title. But we always think this way opening the year. And then the first 10 or 15 races, 16 races happen. And those are very important races. And if you do not perform well every single night, every single week starting this year, you could be out of the Outlaw Championship contention by April or May. It's not hard to be out of contention of the championship because some of these guys, they build momentum and they can get out there very quick, very fast. Not just 1, but 2 or 3 of them. And if you ain't keeping up with those 2 or 3 in consistency, your chances of the World Outlaw Championship are going out the building. So it's going to be very important this week, as well as the Bike Week, Daytona Week at Volusia. This is a double kind of situation. First week there of March, a Sunday, Monday, actually, first weekend of March event at Volusia Speedway Park. It's going to be very interesting to see how these 2 weekends open up at Volusia and who may distance themselves. And then they go to the PA swing, and that'll throw a big kind of mixture into the point situation. So I'm telling you, by April, first week of April, you can know who's going to be a contender this year and who's not going to be a contender for the World of Outlaw Sprint Car Series Championship. Going to be something very interesting to look forward to. Going to be something very interesting to pay attention to. What do y'all think? I'm looking at here about 5 guys I legitimately think can contend for this championship this year. Sweet, Schaar, Gravel, Macedo, and Shots. That's where I would put my 5 to roll the dice on. And I think we'll know who, I say by April, we'll have potentially 3 of those 5 set themselves apart. And it'll come down to those 3, and we'll know those 3 who are going to contend for the championship by April. I think it's that important to really stay up front because these guys can be consistent to another level. You can't be a Sheldon where you win 3 in a row and then flip a couple times. And Sheldon's advanced. I hope that Sheldon can contend for the championship. The smoothness, the ability, I think it's there. I think it's developing. He's only going to get better. I would love to throw Sheldon in there as a 6th person, but we got to see it. Schaar was a shoe-in, no pun intended, to contend for the title this time last year. And look what happened. So, what do y'all think? Leave a comment below, like, share the video, and be sure to subscribe. We got a lot of content coming, and I'll see you down in the Sunshine State. We will be there, and we will share a happy Valentine's Day with you, and we got a special event. Live showings in the campground is coming. Volusia is being taken over on Daytona 500 week by the Chaz.
This is how we ride.